Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Kellen with Droid Life. So, look what we got. The Samsung Galaxy S3 in both white and blue. We're just going to do a quick unboxing of these. Obviously the review's coming. We'll get all that out to you so you can definitely decide if this is the device for you or not. As far as release dates, I have an AT&T T-Mobile version here. Obviously T-Mo already announced June 21st, as did Sprint. AT&T and Verizon, on the other hand, haven't necessarily given us firm dates yet. It could be early July, maybe they'll sneak it in the end of June. We're not fully sure yet. But anyways, I've got two units, got white and blue again. Let's compare them. Let's just unbox them, see what's in the box, see what kind of fun we can get into. Yeah, this is exciting, Galaxy S3. All right, so packaging here. As you know, this is one of the first Android phones we've seen pretty much ever that's coming in different storage sizes and then two colors at launch. A lot of times Android phones, they'll release a black one and then we might get a white one later on or something like that. But Samsung doing it big, blue and white right out of the gate. So as you can see, packaging wise, it sort of goes through a little bit of the specs on the back. So T-Mobile on the right, you can see it just says 4G capable. The AT&T one on the left actually says 4G LTE capable. So 4.8-inch HD Super AMOLED display. It's got NFC in there, 1.5 gigahertz dual core S4 or Snapdragon S4 processor, 8 megapixel camera. It's got all share. Actually, the big selling point of this phone, I mean, it's got really crazy specs and beautiful screen and all that stuff. But the big thing we'll get into in our full review is all the sharing you can do. So this is one of those devices that you want your friends to have so you can take advantage of all this cool stuff. But yeah, so let's bust these open. One thing I wanted to point out, actually, we'll just do it as we're unboxing. The display on this, and I made mention of this previously when it was announced, that it's the exact same display that's in the Galaxy Nexus, and that's not actually true. It's still an HD Super AMOLED, and it's Pentile, but they've actually improved it. Samsung actually told us that they improved it enough, but it wasn't enough to actually rename it to something else. But it's totally different. Well, not totally different. It's very, very similar to the Galaxy Nexus, but it's been bumped up a little bit. It's improved. The colors are better, all that stuff. So just wanted to throw that out there. But anyway, here we go. Here it is, the white Samsung Galaxy S3 on AT&T. Okay, no texting and driving. As you can see, physical home button down there, and then it also has two other lit keys that will light up, you know, when you're using them, things like that. So just gonna set that aside for a second. See what else they actually throw in the box here. It's just manuals, probably. Manuals. You get some earbuds, it looks like, white earbuds to match, and then, you know, standard charger, and that's pretty much it. So nothing crazy in there that, you know, no beats or anything weird like that in there. So here's the white one. Now let's just open the blue one real quick, see if there's anything different. As you can see, or as you notice, the earbuds in the white version were white. So let's see if they give you a different color here with the blue ones. Here is the Pebble Blue. I believe we're still calling it Pebble Blue. It's actually a beautiful color. I know it's kind of tough to see in this light, but it's actually a beautiful color. So there's the blue one. We'll open its box up. More starter guide stuff, and it looks like white earbuds. So they didn't change the color on those to blue. Otherwise, standard chargers, all that good stuff, right? All right, so we got both devices out now. Let's see what we can do here. So the first thing you'll notice when you pull these out is how crazy light this device is. And the battery is in both of these, as far as I know. I know it's in this one, I'm pretty sure it's in this one as well. Batteries in here, they're just crazy light, crazy thin. It's sort of a big phone, but it doesn't feel bad in hand. So they've done this slight curvature to the device to make it fit better in your hand. They've done all this stuff, Samsung has, to make it feel like the best phone ever made. So I can say that it does feel really nice in hand. So they've done some things there that we definitely like. So anyway, let's power it on. The white one here. If we can do a tour of the outside though, you can see all white in the back. 8 megapixel camera up here, there's a flash, there's your speaker. You can pull the back plate off and you can see SD card slot, so you can do up to 64 gigs there. This phone actually has 16 gig internal, but you could buy a 32 gig. You can buy a 32 gig internal. SIM card slot, micro SIM. It has an NFC chip in here. The back plate, you can see it's that classic, really thin, flimsy plastic, but the phone doesn't feel like a cheaply made phone. So For those that hate Samsung's flimsy backs, just get over it. This phone actually feels really, really high quality. So front camera is 1.9 megapixel. You can see there's your sensors. It actually does have a notification light up here. You can actually see now those bottom buttons lit up. Volume rocker on the left side, lock switch on the right side. Big fans of the way Samsung does that. So anyway, that's basically a tour of the outside. Let's jump into the software. All right, so we're booted up. Boot time, first time, was actually fairly fast, and I've sort of gone through the whole setup process. You don't have to see that. But you can see it opens up to TouchWiz, and it's telling you how to run TouchWiz, swiping left and right. Talking about notifications, where your app drawer is. So they're trying to get new users used to Android. I'm going to do a full software tour later, but I just want to show you that this is TouchWiz. You can see when I'm flipping through screens, it's crazy touch sensitive. It's super buttery smooth and fast. When you just flip between transitions and stuff, I mean, there's no stuttering. It's a dual core processor. It's not the quad core Exynos, but it's the Snapdragon S4. It's crazy fast, right? So one thing I do want to point out though is this home button thing. It's going to take everyone a little while to get used to. When I had the Galaxy S2, it took me a bit to get used to it. It's got a decent feel. But you just have to get used to hitting a physical and actually pressing in a button. A lot of you have the Galaxy Next and you're used to the on-screen home button from wherever, but it takes a little bit to get used to pressing that button. But you do have the dedicated menu button, so I've got some opinions on that. We'll save that for another day. There is a back button. If you long press on the home button, you get your recent apps. There's actually a task manager there too, that's interesting. But so yeah, 2 gig of RAM in here, so that whole task thing should never be an issue. You should always have plenty of memory left to cruise through anything you're doing. But we'll get into the camera, we'll get into all that good stuff. Like I said, full software tour, but so far, I mean, just in hand, this is about the 3rd time I've held these devices, and they just feel incredible in hand. They just feel light and polished, and it just feels like a really, really great device. So, we'll decide once we do full reviews. If you want to see what it looks like next to the One X, here's that. You can see both pretty big devices. They're there on the back. So definitely the matte finish on the One X, we're a big fan of that. The glossy sort of Galaxy S3 finish, not as big of a fan, but it doesn't look awful by any means. So it doesn't have a nipple. Well, it does have a small nipple, but definitely not the One X nipple. So anyways, this was just an unboxing. We're just giving you a taste.